Hello everyone and welcome back to episode 48 of our top 5 PvP battle series. If you guys are interested in sending in your own clips, you can send them to KristoferESO at hotmail.com. And starting off at number 5 this week, we have got Rusty Colon on the Stamina Sorcerer. And right off the bat, Rusty just putting a lot of work into these yellow here and just picking up a couple kills on these guys and a little bit of a skip in the frames there. And he's just continuing to work the yellow group here. And there you see he gets a great stun with the Dizzy, tries to get the finish there, unfortunately taking a lot of damage from the opposing player jumping on top of him and the other player's stun. And Rusty just finishing the kill off with the Dawnbreaker there, getting him with the Executioner. He's going to reset his buffs here and re-engage. Go for some Dark Deal to get that resource back, dotting up the next player and seeing a low health player in the back here. He quickly crit rushes on top of him, goes for the first Dizzy. The opposing player just gets brought down by the Executioners there. He just keeps rolling until Rusty connects and he drops the Dawnbreaker on the next player here. And these yellow, oh my lord, they don't even know what hit them. Rusty just going for the open on this guy here. He's very low stamina, but he's sticking on top of this guy, hits him with the Dizzy, goes for the Executioner, bringing another guy down on the resource here, and he's got two players over here. This guy taking quite a bit of damage from the NPCs as well. Rusty quickly finishing him off with the crit rush. The Dawnbreaker on the next one. And oh my lord, there's a guy upstairs. Rusty's going to come inside the tower here, dot the next guy up. Just hit him with the first couple Dizzy swings there. The guy blocks the Dizzy swings, dropping down the bottom here, and he tries to escape out the bottom, and Rusty just keeps on connecting. This guy's picking up the dead bodies. We can't have any of that. Rusty quickly dots him up, hits him with the Dizzy swing into the Executioner. Good damage there, but unfortunately a lot of healing power coming in from the other enemy players, and we've got another enemy player on the resource here. And Rusty's just going to quickly target shift the poor level 10. Oh my lord. Almost getting fully deleted by the Dawnbreaker and the dot just finishing him off there. Rusty's quickly going to bash this guy trying to res again. Go for the dot up there. And here he's going to open with the heavy attack. Nope, back into the bow. He's just being a little careful, re-engaging with really low stamina on this group. There he's going to go for the Dark Deal. The poison injection, jump on top of him. There's the Dizzy swing, the Executioner, the dot. He dies. Rusty moving on to the next target here. The enemy Soul Assault coming in, and he's just going to keep his heals up there, keep his Dark Deal going as well, and he just tanks out the Soul Assault. Goes for the Dawnbreaker on these two, the Executioner to finish that guy off, and now he has got the last player left, and this guy, well, he's fairly tanky, and Rusty just keeps rotating on him for a while here, and eventually he connects a really nice stun. There it is, and the Dawnbreaker cancel to finish him off. Now, I do know that some of these clips are from the previous patch, and this is probably going to be the last episode where we have any Elsewhere patch videos, as the new patch has finally hit the console servers. But on this clip here, we are actually on PC, and we've got ICEYXPanda on the Stamina Dragon Knight. And right away, he puts a little bit of tear into the back end of that siege line. But they respond in kind, and they start putting a lot of pressure into him, and Icy just keeping his heels up, kiting his way back behind the little bit of wood here, and a nice leap on the group there. He goes for the Executioner, staying on top of the right target there. The enemy Templar, though, getting that big healing power from his friendly players, and of course his Eclipse Bubble gets up, and Icy is unable to capitalize on the kill, almost bringing him down there, and he's just going to take a lot of pressure from these guys, getting those heals up, going into his Meditate around the corner to get his resource back as well, and he breaks the stun, pops out of the Meditate there, and just turns around and goes for some pressure on these guys here. He's got the leap up, he dots the first guy up, and he's looking to land this leap. There we see a nice big leap. The Executioner, oh, he splashes and hits the wrong guy, trying to finish this guy off. Oh my lord, so unfortunate. The body block from the other player there, and Icy is unable to finish off the guy that he wanted to, and they actually get the heals up in time too, and Icy just trying to switch to this Templar here, gets a good smack with his Dizzy swing, but right away, so much pressure from the rest of this group, and he's just keeping those heals up. The enemy Templar going down to the Executioner there, and another friendly Templar jumping in the fight, and he just gets melted right away by this yellow group, and Icy is just going to switch on to this enemy Templar in the back, hit him with a nice Dizzy into the leap, goes for the Executioner, a great dodge from the Templar there into his heal to save himself, and Icy's just going to have to continue to reset his buffs, tank these guys out, but the enemy Templar did not heal fully up, and there we see a really nasty Executioner cancel. Down goes the Templar, and Icy's got two yellow players left on top of him here, and he's holding his ground against these guys. This guy's shooting him with the shock staff damage over time, and Icy turns to the other player here who's eyeing up the res, dots him up, but this guy's fairly tanky. and just keeps working this guy with the dizzy swings. But the yellow players, man, they're starting to pile up again. There's more players coming off the siege and jumping on top of him. A Nightblade out of stealth there as well, and they're going to go for the res. And Icy jumping on top with the leap, getting good damage into the group again. The Executioner dropping this guy just... oh my lord, just about finishing him off. So many times Icy's dropped him to about 5 or 10% and just been unable to get the kill. And now there's more yellow players piling on top of him here. And, well, I think he's going to have to go for a bit of a tactical retreat down the hill, taking a lot of damage from these guys, getting hit by those nasty fears as well. Icy just soaking up that damage and pounding those heals, going into his meditate as well, using the terrain to just kite out as much damage as possible and mitigate that range damage as well as he can. Goes for a nice dizzy combo on this guy here, hits him with the Executioner, and there Icy's picking up a kill on one of these guys. He's turning around the fight here. He's almost got his ultimate up again, and he's going to work on the next target here. Hits this guy with the low slash, goes for the dot up there. This guy's trying to res. He's just going to quickly bash the res and then switch back to the target he was working here. Gets a nice leap, goes for the Executioner, and that guy just escaping on low HP there. Icy again with the really nice bash on the res. Again with the bash on the res. This Templar is absolutely relentless. He just wants to get that res up. Sorry, he's a Nightblade. Oh my gosh, why is it that every time I see someone res, I assume they're a Templar, and Icy's just on total res duty here. He is locked to this location because this guy will not stop trying to get that res off. He's got the leap up though. He just gets the bash there, turns around, leaps on this guy, the Executioner. The second one, oh my gosh, that healing ward almost saving him, and Icy unable to get the bash in time. Holy man, this trolly Nightblade here, and here he goes right at it again. Icy just dotting up the player that's been rest here. Now that one's the Templar, and just soaking up this incoming damage, keeping his heals up, and stopping this pesky Nightblade from getting those reses. He's maintaining his stamina here as well, just getting those heavy attacks when he can. A really great potion proc dot up on the Templar there, and he turns here, tries to go for the Nightblade again. All of the players now focusing on Icy and no one focusing on resing, and this is honestly probably better for him in the fight because he can move around more and he can, well, not expend the stamina bashing all the time and focus more on his target. There we see a great stun into the Executioner. Another player goes down, and Icy turning right away to work on the next target here. The enemy Nightblade trolling him with the fear, and there we see he dots up the Nightblade. This guy's popping in and out of stealth. Icy just staying on top of these guys. The other one just runs off, and this guy here, I'm not sure what he's doing. He's just gonna res again. Oh my lord, he's just gonna keep trying to res. Icy's like, no man, stop it. Stop this res business. Put some more damage into this guy. And he just takes off, and I think that's an absolutely fantastic ending to that clip. All right, now coming in at number 3 this week, we have got Warrior Gage on the Magicka Dragon Knight, and here we see right away 5 yellow players coming at him on the road here, and Warrior just holding his ground, just keeping his block up, keeping his heals up, gets a good stun on this guy here, and well, it looks like he actually wants to take this fight. He rotates to the player in the back. The enemy players dropping their bat swarms as well, and Warrior taking a lot of damage himself, and he just goes for those really powerful heals up, goes for the dots on these guys as well, breaking that stun, and he's just hanging on here with that powerful healing from his Dragon's Blood there. Gets another good stun there into the dot up, and the AoE dot up as well, and Warrior Gage just holding his ground against these guys. A big leap into the whip, one of the opposing players down, and they still are jumping on top of him with ultimates and everything. This guy tries to go for the res. Warrior quickly hits him with the fossilize into the whips, bringing him down, and now he's got 3 players left. Oh my lord, Warrior just taking the fight home, hits this guy with the fossilize into the whip. 2 more baddies to go. This guy just jumping on top of Warrior Gage with his bat swarm here, and the vampire drain. Warrior just turns around, dots him up, and it looks like the other player has pieced out of here, just leaves his friend to die. And you know what? With that many bodies on the ground, that was probably the right choice. Now moving on to our next clip, we have got Ulopi Eso on the Magicka Sorcerer, and here you can see there's a few yellow players on top of here, and one of them tried to go for the res. Ulopi quickly picking up a vicious kill there with the overload light attack into the combo, and here we see right away going for the pressure on this Templar here. The enemy Templar just blocking a lot of the attacks, and that OP streak through the blocking opponent. Ulopi with a clean kill on that guy, quickly shifting to the archer in the back that drops the ballista and finishing that guy off as well. And now he's got 4 players left on top of him, just more and more yellow coming into this location. position, and Ulopi's just going to reset his buffs here, go back into his overload, and see what he can do for some rotations here. He goes for the overload light attack into the streak, and there we see he tries to get the finish there, but takes the stun from the opposing Dragon Knight into the Endless Fury. He finishes off that player, gets the streak to get a stun off on this other yellow player entering the fight. Ulopi quickly picking up another kill there, and he's just going to turn on this Dragon Knight in the back here, reset his buffs again. Really great positioning with his streak, always rotating behind these players, and he just puts so much pressure into these guys, finishing one off. The DK can't survive either. Oh my gosh. Absolutely savage. Now, moving on to the #1 clip this week, we have got the one and only DragooX coming back with some Stamina Warden 1vx. And, well, this is just an absolutely fantastic fight, and Drago has, in the past, provided us with just some incredible Stamina Warden 1vx, and here we go. Already picking up a kill on the player on Siege there, getting a good kill on the next player that follows him in the back here, and Drago's just going to reset his buffs and open up on this enemy Templar in the back. The enemy Templar has the CC immunity bubble, but it's just dropping in duration there as Drago connects his Dizzy Swing, finishing that guy off with his combo, and he's going to go into the back player here, and a massive subterranean into the Dawnbreaker. The Executioner cancels so clean. Down he goes, and Drago's going to pick up a nice stun on this guy there. Hits him with the subterranean as well, and the enemy Nightblade staying on top of him here. Drago just resetting his buffs, resetting his subterranean, and he's got quite a few kills already, and he's going to keep pushing into this blue siege line. And here we go. He's picking up a few more blue players that are getting attracted over this way. He just kites back towards the trees and the wall here, just trying to pull these blue on top of the bodies especially. This guy's going for the res, and there we see it. The Subterranean, the Dawnbreaker, the splash on the Executioner. One player down, the second player struggling to stay alive. He goes down as well, and Drago turning on to the enemy Sorcerer now. And the enemy Sorg blocks the first attack, but the block drops, and Drago just melts him with the Subterranean. The Dawnbreaker on the player on Siege. Oh my lord, so many bodies on the ground already, and more blue coming around the corner to chase Drago down here. Drago just going to kite back behind the rocks again here, or the wall here. Gets a dot up on the Sork here with his poison too, and the enemy Stam Sork here just being a little bit shy, and he ends up retreating too, and Drago's just a little lower on stamina, and he knows there's a lot of blue out there. Now, quite a few of the bodies that he killed actually ended up just respawning, so they didn't get a lot of reses, which is really great. So Drago actually did a good amount of damage to this group here. A huge combo on that Stam Sork there, and there we see a really snappy Executioner cancel. Absolutely beautiful stuff for Drago to pick up the kill at the end of the Stam Sork's roll there, and he's just going to reset his buffs here. He's going to reset the Subterranean, and oh no, there's the heavy attack. He sets the Subterranean down again. This guy's panicking. He's trying to run away. There's the Dizzy into the Executioner. Down he goes, and Drago moving on to the next target here. And oh my lord, just absolutely deletes him with the Dawnbreaker, the Subterranean, and the dot finishing him off from the Dawnbreaker there. And the other players in the back here, they are desperately trying to pick up some dead players, and Drago goes for the guy that rezzed. Oh my gosh. So much damage on his build. He just deletes people. This guy got rezzed. Drago's going to hit him with the Dizzy Swing here and just try to stop him from getting back up, and he doesn't have any resource to deal with that. Easy kill again. And Drago, it looks like he's just completely wiped the back end of this siege line. Some of the blue have gone inside as the door is open now, but he's picked up at least 10 plus kills here and just counting more as more blue enter the fight. Drago just putting a lot of damage into that Dragon Knight there as the Nightblade jumps on top of him. He just sets his heal down, gets a great off-balance heavy attack stun on the Nightblade. And there's the Dizzy Swing coming down the Subterranean. The other Nightblade in the back here. Oh my gosh. There he dies from the Executioner. Drago's got the Dawnbreaker ready. We all know what's coming. This guy's trying to res. There's the Donnie into the Executioner. The dot almost finishing him off there. But the enemy Dragon Knight just getting to his heals in time. Drago just resetting his buffs here. He's lower on stamina. He's got quite a few blue targets all over him here. This guy's going for some pressure. Drago hits him with the Subterranean again, taking a lot of damage himself, just kiting back behind the rocks here, resetting his buffs again. and he's got to find a good opening here. He decides, okay, this is a bad place to take this fight. I agree, this is not a great spot for him to try to take a fight against so many, especially on this damage spec that he's running. He's fairly tanky with his high healing power, but at the same time, he is susceptible to that spike if he gets piled by too many. So he takes him to the trees here, and here we see Drago just doing a great job mitigating damage. A great defensive Dawnbreaker drop there just to stun a few opponents and continue to kite these guys out. And there we see he's just rotating those heavies and kiting around the rocks, waiting for those potions to come up so he can get a good opening on the remaining blue players here. And they just chase him around this stuff, and Drago's just being patient, man. He's just waiting for those resources to come back up and waiting for a good opportunity to get an opening on one of these guys. There we see the Subterranean's coming down. There's the Dizzy Swing into the Executioner. Down goes another blue player here. Drago just resetting on the next player here. Huge damage with the Subterranean there, and he's going to stay on top of this guy. Nope, he heads back towards the body. Great instinct. He knows that these guys are going to try to res right away, and he's got to keep an eye on the dead body. And just looking like that, just looking behind him, turning around, causes the Sorc to jump off the body right away. So he stops the res just by that little bit of foot movement, because the enemy Sorc knows he's not going to get the res as long as Drago's there. And there we see another big combo. He goes for the Dawnbreaker, another Subterranean into Dizzy, and the Subterranean finishing him off with the dodge roll there. Drago healing up as he pops behind the pillar, pops back around the corner, and opens with a huge combo on this other player here. And oh my gosh, this guy is not ready for the damage. What a massive crit combo on that guy. And the blue players, well, they end up coming back after Drago saves the clip here, so he gets a little bit of a skirmish with some of them again. But yeah, there you guys see it. He wiped the entire siege line pretty much by himself, and he didn't do it inside the keep. He did it outside the keep without any NPCs, no help whatsoever, and of course in this kind of terrain. And you got to use terrain to take fights like this, so this is not the best terrain to do it. Inside the keep is always better. So yeah, really nice stuff from Drago there. Absolutely fantastic. And of course, we're going to play out the rest of this fight for you guys so you can see Drago just take on the last few players here. A massive shout out to everybody who sent those clips in this week. Thank you guys so much. Really fantastic stuff. And like I said, this is probably going to be the last batch of clips that are pre-Scalebreaker. So look forward to just Scalebreaker clips from now on. And this is just due to the fact that console is a little bit behind PC on the game update schedule. And for the bonus clip this week, we have got Reiko on the Magicka Nightblade with, well, one of the most interesting group wipes I've ever seen. So I hope you guys enjoy. A massive thank you and shout out to everybody who sent those clips in. Thank you guys so much. There are links to everybody's ESO channels down in the description below. So check out all of the fine ESO creators featured in today's episode. If you guys are interested in sending in your own clips for the top 5, or if you want to send in a build to be featured on the channel, you can send it to KristoferESO@hotmail.com. And of course, we go through the top 5 clips live on Twitch together, and I've got live gameplay myself. So if you guys want to be a part of the live experience, you can find a link to my Twitch down in the description below. We're sponsored by What the Fast. They're a VPN for gamers. They give me better ping to my favorite games, and they're free to try for the first 40 days. No credit card to sign up, so no harm, no foul if it doesn't give you what you're looking for. And last but not least, if you guys really love the show and you want to help support it, you can always become a patron on Patreon. This job is not a possibility without your guys' support, so I mean it. Thank you so much for just helping me out. I love what I do here, and I want to keep going. So thank you again. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.